F-35 redefines how you go to war. How an F-35 took on 60 enemy fighters. What would the U.S. Air Force do without this fighter jet? As 60 enemy fighters closed in on the U.S. Air Force fourth-generation fighter aircraft, blinding the jet with electronic warfare attacks. Unexperienced pilot faced unseen life-threatening attackers closing in during an air combat red flag exercise closely replicating actual warfare scenarios. Yet, in a life-saving flash, the endangered fourth pilot was told to turn around by an F-35 operating in the vicinity who radioed an instant warning. The fifth-gen, multi-role stealth fighter then used its long-range sensors and weapons to kill the enemy aircraft, according to an Air Force news report. Air Force Call. Joshua Wood, 388th Operations Group Commander, was part of the exercise. I.e. never seen anything like it before. My wingman was a brand new F-35A pilot, 7 or 8 flights out of training. He gets on the radio and tells an experienced 3,000-hour pilot in a fourth-generation aircraft, "Hey bud, you need to turn around. You about to die. They're a threat off your nose," Wood explained in the service report. The Red Flag exercise, an annual live combat-like training event, drew from an unprecedented amount of advanced threat scenarios, representing near-peer threats. Red Flag aggressors, according to the Air Force report, included advanced integrated air defense systems, an adversary air force, cyber warfare and information operations. Red Flag pilots also flew in GPS-denied environments where communications were jammed or rendered inoperable by enemy EW attacks, according to the Air Force report. Taking place at Nellis AFB in Nevada, the exercise included 3,000 personnel from 39 units, including the U.S. Navy, U.S. Air Force, Royal Air Force and Royal Australian Air Force. The F-35A defines how you go to war with a platform. It fuses data at a very core level, providing pilots with information to be lethal in the battle space. Edward Stevie Smith, F-35 Domestic Business Development Director, Lockheed Martin, told Warrior Maven in an interview. Developers explain that the F-35 is, by design, intended to draw upon its stealth configuration to suppress enemy air defenses while monitoring air-to-air and air-to-ground threats. An engineer familiar with F-35 technology explained it this way: there is a FLIR forward-looking infrared built into the airplane. The DAS distributed aperture system with 360-degree cameras and the EOTS electro-optical targeting system to track and attack long-range targets can see things in midwave IR at pretty significant ranges, tracking them from a long way. Describing F-35 weapons engagements, Lockheed F-35 pilot Billy Flynn said F-35s could fire advanced medium-range air-to-air missiles without being seen by adversaries, operating at the margins of detectability. "We could launch and leave," Flynn explained. At last year's exercise, the Air Force and Navy explored a range of similar threats, including efforts to refine F-22 dogfighting skills. The F-22 at last year's exercise, from the 27th Fighter Squadron, Langley Air Force Base, Virginia, performed air interdiction, combat search and rescue, close air support, dynamic targeting and defensive counter-air operations in mock combat scenarios. Confronting simulated Red Force ground and air threats, F-22s attacked targets such as mock airfields, vehicle convoys, tanks, parked aircraft, bunkered defensive positions and missile sites. Although modern weapons such as long-range air-to-air missiles, and the lack of near-peer warfare in recent years, means dogfighting itself is less likely these days. As the service prepares for future contingencies against technologically advanced adversaries, maintaining a need to dogfight is of great significance. For instance, the emerging Chinese J-10 and Russian 5th General PAC-50 clearly underscore the importance of this. Advanced dogfighting ability can greatly expedite completion of the Air Force long-discussed OODA loop phenomena, wherein pilots seek to quickly complete a decision-making cycle, observation, orientation, decision, action faster than an enemy fighter. The concept, dating back decades to former Air Force pilot and theorist John Boyd, has long informed fighter pilot training and combat preparation. If pilots can complete the OODA loop more quickly than an enemy during an air-to-air combat engagement, described as getting inside an enemy decision-making process, they can destroy an enemy and prevail. Faster processing of information, empowering better pilot decisions. It naturally stands to reason makes a big difference when it comes to the OODA loop connectivity with air and ground combat assets. Drawing upon emerging data link technology has been a key part of the exercise as the Air Force strengthens efforts to work with other services on cross-domain fires operations. The OODA loop is of equal importance to the F-35, which, while engineered to dogfight as well, is built to draw upon its long-range sensors to complete the process before ever seen by an enemy. The Air Force plans to actualize key aspects of this with, for instance, Link 16 upgrades to the F-22 that enable it to improve data sharing with the F-35 and fourth-generation aircraft in real time in combat. First operational in 2005, the F-22 is a multi-role fighter designed with stealth technology to evade enemy radar detection and speeds able to reach Mach 2 with what is called supercruise capability. Supercruise is the ability to cruise at supersonic airspeeds such as 1.5 Mach without needing afterburner, a capability attributed to the engine thrust and aerodynamic configuration of the F-22. The F-22 is built with two Pratt & Whitney F119 PW100 turbofan engines with afterburners. Air Force statement said the aircraft has a 44-foot wingspan and a maximum takeoff weight of more than 83,000 pounds. Thanks for watching. Click like, comment, share, and subscribe.